Ever since the debut of Lord of the Rings of Power on Amazon Prime Video, it was very clear that this thing was a total and complete disaster. As we've covered multiple times on this channel, since its release 2 years ago, since Amazon went all out with the marketing, the most expensive television series in history, something that they themselves said needed to be a massive global hit for them, a global phenomenon for it to be considered a success, it was anything but that. Despite what Amazon tried to lead people to believe after the first few episodes, the truth was it was a ratings disaster. And in fact, only 37% of the people who actually tuned in to Rings of Power Season 1 saw it through to the end. And it's not like it was a 20-episode show. It was only 8 episodes. And what did they do in response to this? They blamed fans. They attacked fans. They called you bigot. They called you racist. They called you all these things simply for people saying, this is not Tolkien's world. This is not Lord of the Rings. You've decided to push your agenda instead of actually honoring the source material. Well, in the ramp up for Season 2, we've seen multiple trailers, some of them getting destroyed and ratioed, just like we saw in Season 1, but it's also been a clear shift in the way they're trying to promote this. There's a lot about, hey, action, 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 and even the most recent trailer that they dropped yesterday, you can see here, not as many dislikes, although it's starting to catch up to the likes. It was pretty much all about total war and not so much about reminding you of how terrible some of these characters are and how much it really disregards so much of the lore of Middle-earth. But if you needed an indication of just how desperate they are to convince people that they drove away, that they said this show's not made for you, we don't need you, to try to get people back in their good graces and desperately try to make Season 2 the success that they need it to be, well, look no further than what they announced today. The Lord of the Rings of Power Season 1 to stream for free on Samsung TV in viewership push ahead of Season 2. Now, I have not seen this happen to too many television shows where they release something for free in a desperate effort to get people there. Maybe occasionally the first episode of something, maybe put the first episode on YouTube for a couple days to say, hey, if you like this, then go check this out here. That happens from time to time. But an entire season of the most expensive series in history? That has never fucking happened before. But Lord of the Rings of Power is being forced to do this to try to get people to come back to this show. Viewers can catch the first season of The Lord of the Rings of Power for free on Samsung TV Plus beginning today through August 28th. As part of a push by Amazon for an audience boost ahead of the August 29th Season 2 premiere on paid service Prime Video, the first season is available for free for Samsung TV and Galaxy owners in the United States, Canada, Brazil, the UK, and Germany. It marks the first time the first season will be available to stream for free. Yeah, no shit. And how many people have those devices, you ask? Well, according to them, and in this big announcement, they basically estimate that over 300 million people around the world, whether it's on a phone or whether it's on a Samsung TV, are going to be able to stream this, have the opportunity to watch Lord of the Rings of Power at absolutely no cost. Now, I think internally it's been crystal clear to these people that they massively fucked up the first season. They had so much confidence going in. They brought in all these influencers to try to pretend like it was going to be awesome. They all thought it was going to go swimmingly. And the backlash would just be from a handful of people. No, the backlash was loud and it was sustained. And it has continued since the 2 years that Season 1 actually aired. Season 2, like I said, from the marketing, it definitely looks like they're going a different direction. However, we can't ignore the reality. The reality that completely fucked up Sauron and Galadriel and so many other of these characters, and the fact that they're still going for this strange, weird, romantic vibes between Galadriel and Sauron. What the fuck are we talking about? What is this? The push to make Sauron have a Walter White type of story. They want you to sympathize with the villain. All of this feels and is so foreign for people that actually know what they're talking about and people that actually like Lord of the Rings and Tolkien's work. Now, it's a desperate push to be sure, but it's probably necessary because the amount of money they've invested in this thing, we're talking about over $1 billion for 2 seasons of something. The first season, already a massive failure. Now all is riding on Season 2. They need it to be a hit. They need people to come back. They need so many people who gave up on this to give it another chance. I'm not sure if giving away for free to Samsung users is going to do the job, but this is the next desperate push in the lead up to Rings of Power Season 2. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.